Hey there. Got my sidekick who's watching TV as usual because he has an addiction. Right, bud? Are you addicted to the TV? It's okay. I understand. We all have our little addictions, right? His is the television. And I turned the sound off, so he may not be happy. So, I vaguely heard of Logan Paul before. It's probably been a couple years ago that I saw one of his videos. And it's probably just because I'm old. I don't know. He's just a kid. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I really don't know. But everybody's like really upset with him. And I get it. But you guys are making so much money by going to his YouTube page and commenting and all your little harassments. Not that anybody's harassing, but all those comments are just making him more money. So it's like doing the total opposite of like people want to boycott him or whatever. But if you go there, then you're just making him money because every time he gets a comment, either on Facebook or wherever he has his stuff, it just makes him more revenue because the more visitors you get, the more money you make with all of these social media sites. So I just think that if the best way to, if you want to not promote him, would be to just pretend he doesn't exist. If people think that little video, I've seen stuff like, is YouTube safe for children? Is the internet safe for children? Come on now. It's not safe. It's not safe for adults. There's so much stuff on here that would blow your mind. And your children are seeing it most of the time by accident. But then curiosity killed the cat. The internet's not safe for anybody. You just have to be smart. But on depression, I struggle with depression. My son struggles with depression. We have a promise between each other that we won't kill each other. Not kill each other. We have a promise that we won't kill ourselves. Because that would crush the other, So we have a standing promise. And sometimes it's really hard to keep that promise for me. And it probably is hard for him too, because depression, you could be having a fantastic day and the best day of your life even, and depression could creep in and you should be so happy and it just ruins everything, Case in point, I had a new baby. I gave birth to a son. He's 17 now. And through the pregnancy, like one of the things was that he came back a Trisomy-18 or 19, 18 or 19. I think it was 18. I don't know. Trisomy, either way, not good. In the end, he came out pretty good, So I should have been happy. He was adorable. He still is. And he was very healthy. I mean, he had jaundice, which almost every baby does. But I was so depressed. I almost killed him and myself together in the car. If it wasn't for I had a good relationship with God, if it wasn't for that, I think I would have done it. And then I probably would have ended up, I was going to pull out in front of a tractor trailer on the highway. And then how selfish that would have been to make that man kill us. But besides the point, that's just blah, blah, blah. That's how depression works. You don't think right. It seems so dark, even though the sun is shining. And everybody else sees the sunshine, but your brain doesn't see it. I used to tell my doctor that everything seemed so dark. I said I felt like I couldn't see the light. And I don't mean the light like God or anything. I mean, I felt like I actually couldn't see the sunlight. It was so weird. And I knew I should have been so happy. I mean, I had 2 boys. I had a husband. Everything was decent, you know. I was so in love with my new baby. But depression just had other plans, you know. I remember that darkness, though. That was really the weirdest thing. To feel like the sunlight was being blocked from my vision. I mean, it wasn't like I was walking around in darkness. It just seemed so dark. So it still gets to me because it was so weird. And then I was so afraid to tell anybody because what a vicious person. You have a baby and you want to kill yourself and the baby? I felt so... I just didn't know who I could tell and still look at myself in the mirror. You know? And then I told my husband, of course he's an asshole. Sorry, language. He thought I was he was getting ready to go hunting, and I was worried that I was going to do it while I was gone. So, you know, I told him before he left, I told him don't go because I was really worried. And he thought, you know, I didn't want him to go hunting, and that's why I did it. That's why I told him. But no, I told him because I was worried that I was going to hurt myself and my son. So, you know, we talked and everything, and I took a nap, took the baby in bed with me, and we took a nap together. And I woke up surrounded by police officers and ambulance tech, whatever, EMTs. So there's another thing. If you call 911 and tell them that you're depressed and suicidal, the police come and the ambulance, and now you look like a criminal. I was so embarrassed, and, you know, I was sleeping, and the baby was laying next to me in like a little bassinet thing on the bed, and, you know, they took the baby away, like I was gonna grab him and be like, don't touch us! Yeah, I kept my calm and everything, but inside I was like, how could you do this to me? I mean, I was, I can't, begins with a P. I used to do a lot of live videos on it. I can't think of what it's called. But it's a nice place. It's fun. And there was a kid on there that was suicidal, and he actually hung himself live on Periscope. There we go. My one little voice in that crowd of people telling him to go ahead and do it, my little voice of call me wasn't heard. But he stated the same thing, that a couple days beforehand, he called 911 or suicide hotline, whatever, and told him that he was suicidal. And what happened? The police came and the ambulance, and embarrassment. The landlord thought police and started the eviction process because she thought the police came to his apartment, you know, and thus he was being evicted because he was suicidal. And then he killed himself live right there on Periscope. So, suicide, depression is handled so wrong. I mean, I get it. The police are there because what if you're crazy, I guess. I don't know, you're going to hurt somebody. Who knows? But if you called 911 for help, why would they do that to you? So, yeah, I remember that. It was terrible. And I thought, my neighbors must have thought something bad was going on in the house, you know? And of course, who's going to be like, hey, why was the police at your house? No, no, no. Only my